Hi, I'm Melissa Johnson, Muskingum County Director from Allwell Behavioral Health Services. I was asked to come and talk to you today about suicide loss. Losing a loved one is difficult. Losing a loved one to suicide is often a shocking, life-changing tragedy. There are often questions why, feelings of guilt, feelings of shame, questions if we've missed something. In a time where we're encouraged to isolate from others, to slow the spread of COVID-19, these feelings can be even more intense. We often feel isolated and judged when we experience a suicide loss. It can make us feel disconnected from the rest of the world, especially if you have never known anyone else who has experienced a suicide loss. That can be a very lonely feeling. Just know that you're not alone. In fact, for every suicide death, it is believed that 135 people are impacted. With over 1,700 suicides in the state of Ohio in 2019, that's nearly 230,000 suicide loss survivors just in our state. Locally, we've had 9 suicide deaths in Muskingum County this year. This means that 1,215 people in our own community have lost someone they knew or loved to suicide. As with any unexpected death, we can expect a wide variety of reactions. These may be physical reactions. We often have poor appetite, GI upset, might experience weakness, insomnia, headaches, tearfulness, tension. We can experience changes in behavior. We may start grinding our teeth, nail biting. We often can have nightmares. We may start to treasure objects that belong to the loved one that we lost. We often experience restlessness. And of course, there's the emotional changes. We may feel agitated, angry, feeling very indecisive about everything, withdrawing emotionally from others, especially those in our immediate lives. We may feel empty and we may feel hopeless. Often people have suicidal thoughts themselves. That doesn't necessarily mean we'll act on those thoughts. We may question our faith or our spirituality. Some people get angry with God. Some may lean towards finding a new faith or spirituality to get them through this difficult time. Because loss can be overwhelming, it is important that we surround ourselves with others and we allow them to help us. This may mean answering the phone when we don't really want to, or answering the door when we really want to just go and hide. We need to be kind to ourselves. When talking to children about suicide loss, it's important to explain in a way that they can understand. You want to be truthful, but at an age level that they can relate to. In addition to all the typical reactions, getting closure in the world of COVID-19 can be very difficult. I talked about 135 people being impacted by a single suicide. With social gathering restrictions and need to social distance, it can be difficult to hold the traditional funeral services. So feeling like we've been able to say goodbye for those 135 people can be very difficult. Some have been unable to attend services due to being in quarantine or being ill themselves. Thankfully, many of our funeral homes have been able to offer live feed videos so that folks can attend funeral services. Others are choosing to do memorial services at a later time. We need to be aware of how these changes can impact us in the grieving process and do whatever we can to get through it. There are resources available in the event of a suicide death, such as grief counseling, survivors of suicide support groups, and a local outreach to survivors of suicide or a loss team. The support groups and loss teams are made up of mental health professionals and survivors, and they're there to help support, provide information, and help with the healing process. If you feel like you need assistance after experiencing the suicide of a loved one, you can call our Southeastern Ohio Loss Team at 740-297-2997 740-454-6689. You can call Allwell Behavioral Health Services at 740-454-9766, or you can call the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board at 740-454-8557. Thank you.